Alright, so this is Nick from the Uber Group. Today I'm going to take you guys on a tour on what it's like to use Uber. It's going to be good because I've only rode in an Uber once or twice and it wasn't my Uber, so I didn't get to use the app. So it is currently 6:45 and we need to be at the Union by 7:30, hopefully before then. I'm not really worried about that because it says there's an Uber within 2 minutes of us, so we'll see what happens
with it.
All right, so request Uber X.
No, go here. And then you can enter where you're going.
Okay. Ohio Union.
Yep, and now you can request.
Does it tell me how far it is? Maybe it will in a minute. Request Uber X. Okay, so you see it's requesting. I guess it's like loading kind of, or it's sending a signal to some people. Okay. So it's Brian in a Hyundai Accent.
Gonna be here in 3 minutes.
It says 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So we'll see what happens here.
Right? Yeah, Nick.
Nick, nice to meet you. If you don't mind, we're filming because I have a class project due where we had to pick a company,
And it's Uber?
and I had to do Uber. So I've only used this like once or twice.
Okay.
So do you mind if, like, while we're driving to the Union, I just ask you some general questions about Uber?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, cool. Okay, so first of all, the app seemed pretty easy to use. It was my first time actually using the app. The most confusing part was using the promo code.
Alright, yeah.
So I literally just hit request. Brian, where were you? Were you just driving around, or
I was
were you
parked,
waiting?
I was hanging out with a friend last night who lives like right off Duncan, close to here, about 3 blocks away. I started to park to go inside and talk to him for a minute, but then you got me. I was leaving my app on just in case I got a ride.
Okay, so I mean, obviously you pretty much pick when you work and stuff like that, so you just kind of leave your app on, and while you're doing your daily whatever stuff, if you get an opportunity to make some money, you just do it.
Yeah. Doing it full time, the large events like Buckeye Games dictate when you do it.
So if you guys didn't know, Uber works, at least the rates and stuff, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it works basically just supply and demand. So the more demand for Uber drivers, the price goes up, and obviously the more supply of Uber drivers, the price goes down. So Brian was saying that during like football games and stuff like that, the price goes up, right?
Right, and because there aren't as many cars available on the roads.
Right, and I would say, like Friday, Saturday nights when people are getting drunk down at the bars, the rates, there's probably people trying to get home.
Right. Bar closing times on Friday, Saturday, sometimes Thursday. Around noon, there are more Uber Eats requests.
Ah, that's a new
Right.
thing, Uber Eats. So I don't know anything about that. Could you explain that?
So it's basically like a Grubhub or like we're just picking up food, like Cazuelas is someplace. We pick up food from Cazuelas if you order food from them through Uber Eats, and there's like there's a fixed fee according to how the distance. But now there are less orders from that because it started about a month ago, and for the past month there's been a promotion where you don't have to pay for any transportation costs, and Uber has been eating that cost as like a promotional thing. But now you have to pay for your food and the delivery.
So demand's going down because it's a little bit more expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's something we've been kind of talking about in class now is Uber. And Brian, you may or may not know anything about this, but Uber is just like taking over drivers in every industry now, especially now that they're doing Uber Eats. Obviously, it's an old news that Uber kind of disrupted the taxi business. But people are thinking that Uber is just going to control all of the drivers in almost every industry, and eventually they're going to get into like delivering packages and everything. So they have the potential to disrupt not just transportation, but like food delivery. They could disrupt UPS, FedEx's business, or maybe there's some opportunity for collaboration between those businesses. But it's kind of a big deal when you own all of the labor supply in an industry, and that's kind of what Uber's doing right now.
Eventually, what they're trying to do is make automated cars, and they're testing that like Pittsburgh and Detroit, I believe, and they will start doing self-driving cars, or there might be a driver, but they won't be driving.
Right.
They'll be testing that in Columbus because of the Smart City grant that we got.
That's cool.
I think in 2017 or 18.
That's cool. So another thing we've kind of been talking about too, as far as technology in class, with some of the other companies, is car automation. I think we were talking about that with the Tesla company. But so yeah, automated cars have the potential to disrupt Uber's industry, or maybe even help them out. But obviously, the self-driving cars we have now still require a driver. So that means Brian's job is safe, at least for now, right?
Right.
Eventually, maybe someday, I don't know, 20, 30 years down the line, when cars don't require drivers, we talked about maybe buying a car, and then you would sign your car up for like an Uber or whatever when you're not using it, so your self-driving car can go off and pick people up and drive them around, and your car can actually make money for you while you're not using it. So these are just kind of weird technological disruptions that are happening right now. Cool. So basically, if you just saw that, he just ended the ride. And so I used a promo code. I guess I might not have to pay this time. I don't know if Uber just eats that or not.
Yeah, they do.
But do you get paid per mile or per time, or?
It's a 50-cent base, $1.10 per mile, and 18 cents per minute.
Cool.
And
Okay.
then the minimum ride is $5.45, and so there's $1.45 added and subtracted from every ride, and that's kind of like the safe rider fee, which is the commercial insurance.
Cool.
And so once that's negated from the ride, then I get 80%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, appreciate your time, dude.
Yeah.
That was easy. So it's only 7 o'clock. So I made that Uber request at like
6:50.
6:50, somewhere between 6:45 and 6:50, and we're already here. So super easy. That's Uber.
Thumbs up.